All right, everybody, welcome. I am so excited to have you guys all here today. We are getting right to it because we have a lot to share in a very short amount of time to do so. So let me just tell you guys all who we are. My name is Alicia McPeak, and you have joined us for the Mommy and Me online community wellness event. This is brought to you by the Healthy Living Revolution. I'm hosting today along with a couple other people. Say hi to Kenna. Kenna's here. Marley's here. Welcome, ladies, and thank you for joining me to host this event. So we're here to meet families where they are and inspire positive change along the way. Our goal is to create a community of like-minded moms where we can inspire, educate, and help to create a happier, healthy, sustainable, and natural way of living right where they are and right where they can thrive. We do this each week by featuring and supporting moms who have their own small businesses that supports a natural and healthy lifestyle. We do this so that they can share their knowledge and passion and their journey to help you create the life that you want as well. Now, if you're here on Zoom or on Facebook, make sure to say hello. We don't know you're here on Facebook unless you say hello. And the only way we can enter you into our giveaway today is if you say hi and we know you're there. Plus, it just gives us a little bit of love and makes us feel really excited about sharing this with you. With that, I want to get going with this conversation because we are so excited today to feature Ashley Lenn. Ashley, do you want to just wave and say hi? I'm gonna change this to a speaker view. Ashley, go ahead and unmute yourself. That way everybody can see you and you can say hi. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, perfect. Okay, this is Ashley Lenn. Ashley has a really cool business where she not only coaches people on sustainable living through healthy nutrition, utilizing often a plant-based diet, but she's really passionate and excited about helping moms avoid that busy mom, stressed out, burned out way of life. And if you're a mom, we don't even have to explain to you what that means because every one of us have experienced it. Sometimes we just want to crawl in a hole, bury our heads, run away, and then we feel guilty because we feel that way. And that's the worst part, right? But the first thing everybody needs to know is that you're not alone. Everybody hits this wall from time to time. But what Ashley's going to share with you is some tips and tricks to help with that. But before you do, Ashley, what I'd really like you to share with people who you are and how you found your way to this place.
All right. Well, thanks again for having me. I'm really excited to be here. So I'm Ashley. I'm a plant-based lifestyle coach, and I help other mothers overcome burnout through the power of plants, boundary setting, mindset work, self-care routines. And I came to this, I guess, because I've dealt with all of it before. I've dealt with the anxiety. I've dealt with abusive relationships that led me to the chronic anxiety. And our counselor wanted to put me on anxiety medications just to help me cope with my marriage. And I said, no, let's get to the root cause of it. And so I started learning like the power of herbs, the power of the foods that I was consuming and like how they help nourish me. And that was just kind of the catalyst. The plant-based diet was kind of the catalyst into overcoming the burnout and the chronic, exhaustion that us mothers have been led to believe is just normal. It's common, but that doesn't make it normal. We shouldn't feel that way. We shouldn't just be barely surviving. So I help other mothers develop their self-care, plans, their morning and night routines, their diet, what they're putting into their bodies. And I've had some amazing results so far.
And you're a single mom, I believe, right? Of two
Yes.
young girls. And so that's quite a challenge on its own. We don't talk a lot about being a single mom, but that brings on the same challenges plus more. That because you're doing a lot more.
I've been a mom of all types. I've been a single mom, which I am now. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've been a work-at-home mom. I've been a work-out-of-the-home mom. So I've been there for all, through all of those. So I know the different aspects and the pros and cons for all of them.
Right. Okay. So why don't you just share a little bit of the background? What was the defining moment? What made you come to the point where you said, I have to make a big change? Was there a particular moment or a couple of moments?
I recall I had a very up and down marriage. It was very abusive. He's a clinical narcissist. And so I became like a shell of my former self, and that became my normal. And then there was one day where we had gotten back together because it was very up and down. We were separated, we were together, we're separated, we're together. But I was playing with my daughter on the ground. It was after work. It was about 5 o'clock, and I just fell asleep on the ground. And I was just so exhausted. that was like the point where I was like, I can't even play with my daughter on the ground because I'm just so burnt out from work, from my marriage, from feeling like I have to do everything by myself and not having anybody to help me. So it just completely depleted me. And then there were also times on my lunch break at work, I would go home for my lunch break and just take a power nap, but that ended up not being a power nap. I would full on like just fall asleep and I wasn't able to get back up, and I was calling out of work because of the exhaustion, and it was taking control of my life. And that was in 2017, I believe, is when all that was happening. And I just was like, I can't live like this anymore. I want to thrive, you know?
Yeah, well, and I love that you said that it's common, but it's not normal. This isn't how we're supposed to be. We are supposed to thrive. So why don't you share with us the difference between surviving and thriving?
So surviving, I feel like, is you're just barely getting by in life. You're just going through the motions. You're waking up groggy, first of all, but you're waking up, you're just, last minute rushing around, getting things ready to get out of the house. Your house is just barely a home. Like you don't love where you're living. It's a cluttered mess, but you're just, it's good enough. You're still, you're snapping at your kids because you're depleted. You're putting all of your, everything on your spouse, your kids, the people around you. You're eating all the convenient snacks because you don't have time to make your own food or take care of yourself. So that to me is just surviving. You're just barely getting by until the day you die. Like, and then thriving is when you wake up and you feel like you have a purpose. You're living with intention. You are excited to wake up. You're excited to, spend time with your kids. You're excited to cook for yourself. And they're just totally polar opposites. And even if people can just meet in the middle, that's a huge feat.
Yeah.
But I like to help moms get to that point where they can realize this isn't how my life has to be.
And in general, I think this comes with, you had mentioned anxiety. It comes with some anxiety. A lot of times it comes with depression. It comes with guilt. It comes with shame. It comes with complete and utter overwhelm that you just feel like you're in a big, deep, dark hole that you don't have any idea how you're going to get out of. What was the first thing that you did to make a change?
The first thing I did, what was the first thing I did? Well, I ended my marriage.
That's a big one.
I quit my corporate job with no plan, but I did it, and it all worked out. I just knew it was draining me, and I needed to start making better choices for myself. I ditched most of, like the convenient snacks and stuff like that. And started eating the whole food version of all these things. And that in and of itself was super powerful. Just changing the fuel that I was giving my body. It changed my mind. I didn't have the brain fog anymore because I was fueling my body properly. And so those are just a couple of things that I did right off the bat, which some people, I'm not saying go get divorced, quit your job, but for me, that's what had to happen. And I did so very boldly, and it was scary, but I did it because I knew I needed to do it.
Yeah, and not everybody, that is not everybody's plan, but beginning to fuel and nourish your body is something that everybody can do. So let's talk a little bit more about what that does for your body. You mentioned a couple of things like your brain fog cleared, your energy increases.
Yeah. The brain fog was gone. My skin got clearer, so I wasn't having to wear as much like makeup, which I was wearing non-toxic makeup anyway, but I felt better in my skin. My stomach issues, I became regular, like everything just my body was working. The energy, I started putting, and then the intention, I started putting more intention into how I was fueling my body instead of just eating to eat. Like, oh, there's potato chips, I'm hungry, I'm just going to eat those. I was very intentional, and I want to fuel my body properly so that I keep this going. And I think a lot of people too, they view like it's a diet, right? For me, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, because again, it was the catalyst that led me into other new good habits. But once I started feeling better, I didn't do what most people do or what I used to do in the past. You start feeling better and you're like, okay, now I feel good. I'm going to start adding those bad habits back into my life because I can afford it now, because I feel better. Now I can, treat myself with all these things. And I feel like it's really crucial to find new treats for yourself. Like, I found so much joy and energy in changing my lifestyle that I wouldn't want to go back. I don't want to eat those things because every time I do, I feel like crap again, So it was just my why, my reasoning for do it was just too powerful to go back.
Well, and there's one more thing that you haven't mentioned yet, and I know you would, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. You actually become a new person, and it's becoming the new person that makes it a permanent change. You see yourself differently. It's a whole new way of thinking and being, but it becomes who you are, and that's, in my opinion, the number one thing that makes the biggest, longest lasting change is it's now your identity. And
When
it definitely became your identity, didn't it? Because you took it on
yeah,
as a whole new career and everything.
it did. It completely shifted my entire life. It made me more confident to make those big decisions. It sounds so weird and like spiritual, but for me, it was that. It was like this one little habit turned into so many other things, and it completely changed my mindset. It changed my like how I value myself. I felt worthy of treating myself that way, and those are my non-negotiables now. Not because I'm trying to be like too strict or eliminate things. To me, I looked at it from a positive mindset, not an elimination negative mindset.
Right. Yeah. And instead of deprivation, you were saying, oh, I'm healing, I'm fueling, I'm adding value, I'm a better mother. This is what it's giving me, instead of focusing on, oh, I really want that, whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't want those things anymore, like at all, because like I gave up coffee last year, not because of the caffeine, but I knew it wasn't serving me anymore. So I don't even drink decaf anymore because I was snapping at my kids. There was something about it that just didn't sit right with me. But yeah, it made me a more patient parent. I was able to tolerate more. I was able to handle the stress better.
I just want to just acknowledge a couple comments here. First of all, Kenna said she can totally relate to surviving and not thriving. She definitely has a story around that. And then I saw her just say she's a slave to her coffee. We're not saying you have to give up everything at once, everybody. And in fact, it's not actually,
but you don't have to.
It's actually not a good idea for most people, because to make a permanent change, it has to become a part of who you are, just like we were talking about. So it's usually better to make incremental changes and make them part of who you are.
Don't forced into. I made a change. I made the decision that it was no longer serving me, and I didn't want it more. Like I truly didn't want it. If you want coffee, don't give it up. Like, if that's still part of your morning ritual or whatever it serves you, do you.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And yeah, I'm so glad to see everybody here. Hey, Miranda. Hey, Sina. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Shankila. Who else is here? Who else has said hi? Anybody else, Kenna, that I haven't seen yet? I'm so glad you guys are all here. Thank you for joining us. Of course, Marley and Rowan. And anybody who's on Facebook, please say hi, because we just want to include you, and we can't put you in our drawing if you don't say hi. And Ashley's giving away something absolutely priceless today. So I don't want you guys to miss out on that. So okay, so sorry to interrupt. Let's get back to it. So I'm going to let you now just kind of take it over, and you give like your top 3 tips or whatever you have for people that's going to help them have a starting point where they can take off from here.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, I came up with my top 3 tips, the 3 things that I help my clients do that I personally implement into my life. They're very actionable steps. Even if you just choose one of these, you'll see a huge difference in how you're feeling. So I'm just going to start with the first one. And anybody who knows me at all, has been around me, who's worked with me, you might know what I'm going to say, but you have to identify the cause. And it's not just motherhood. Motherhood doesn't have to feel that way. So you need to get to the bottom of the cause. The cause are things such as the job, the kids misbehaving, you feel like you're doing it all on your own. You're not willing to delegate tasks. You have to get to the cause and address that. So let's say it is your job that's completely draining you and you don't feel it's in alignment with what you want to be doing. Find another job. I mean, it's easier said than done, but tell yourself, I do not want to be here anymore, and start actively trying to change that, that issue. If it's burning you out, if it's completely just not somewhere you want to go every day, just find a new job. Like that right there can make a world of a difference. If it's the kids misbehaving, get to that root cause as well. Like when I am very in tune with my children, and when they start acting up, I look to me and I'm like, okay, is there something that I could be doing that's causing this? Whether it be I'm on my phone too much, or I'm working too much, and they are like kind of seeking attention in a negative way, but that's the only way they know how to get attention at that point is, well, she won't pay attention to me right now, so I'm going to, act out so that she pays attention to me. Which I think a lot of kids do. And so I look within myself and I think, what can I do better? How can I be more present? So that's how I address, like when my daughters are super emotional or just really combative, I have to take a step back and look within, because they look up to me. I am the role model. I need to look at myself. Like sometimes, yeah, they just want to be little, butt heads, but usually it's something that I'm doing or I could be doing better.
Right.
So that would be a root cause.
That's really good that you look at you.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
There's just examples of root causes. There are so many other ones that are so individual to each person's situation. I think what a lot of us moms could really do and how we're feeling is we feel like we're carrying the burden of the world on our shoulders and we're caring for everybody else but ourselves. And so you have to give yourself permission to delegate out some tasks. Yeah. I think, yeah, just have to give permission to delegate tasks, to not feel like you have to be everything for everybody, and feeling you just have to start taking care of yourself, but know that you're worth that. It's, again, one of those things that you want to do, not you have to do. So those are just examples of root causes. So definitely identifying the root cause of why you are feeling so burnt out. What can you remove from your life and add into your life? And I think if you follow any of these 3 things or do any of these 3 things, that's going to be the number one that I would suggest for everybody, because other things, they're just, they're Band-Aids and they just mask the problem. So what's the problem? So that's the first one.
Can I touch on that just a tiny bit?
Yeah, please do.
So for root causes too, I think you have to know what your priorities are or what your values are, right? So if your value system is to be present for your children and you're not being present for your children, that helps you find a place to identify what the root causes are that are causing the overwhelm, the burnout, and the stress.
Yeah, it all kind of intertwines too. It's not even usually one thing that like causes you to get so exhausted. It's usually a compilation. It's, a bunch of things. So you just have to identify those and figure out what is worth it to you to change. How, it's just, there are so many different things. Everyone's so different. So again, I'm not saying go divorce your husband or quit your job. Like, be mindful about it, be methodical, but just identify it. And then that becomes your why, and decide how important that is to you. So,
okay, go for it.
Yeah. So the next one, this is a little bit different. So these are all just different parts, kind of all very different. The next one that I found worked for me and has worked for many of my clients is creating a morning and a night routine. Some of us, we get home from work, we just go through the motions, we just, plop down in bed, and that's our life. There's no routine to it. For me now, I think my night routine is most important. It used to be my morning routine. They're both very important, but in order to set myself up for success the next day, I have to go to bed successful. And for me, that can be like brain dump, just a brain dump in my journal about everything that happened that day, anything that might be weighing on my mind. I get that all out in a journal. I make my tea. We make what we call our calm down drink, which is a magnesium drink.
I'm Mama when
yeah.
she went through the same
and we put magnesium oil on our feet. Like, we have this whole, ritual routine. And I do encourage people to get their kids involved in it. Although I know some people go to sleep after their kids, but even getting their kids in their own routine, it helps them to calm down and helps them to go to bed peacefully, which is less stress on us mothers, right? You don't have to have the bedtime battles. So coming up with a morning and a night routine, which is also something that I do in my programs, is I help other people develop a custom morning and night routine that fits in their life. So for me, that was just really powerful, because once those 2 things were in place, it helped me again to know I'm worth taking care of myself, and I need to take care of myself during these times in order to be a better mother and in order to just perform better overall. So I encourage people to just come up for morning and night routines. Keep it simple. I ask that people, like my clients, come up with 3 non-negotiables. 3 non-negotiables for nighttime, 3 for the morning, because it's not overwhelming. Your list isn't super long, and they need to be things that you enjoy doing, but you just don't make time to do, like sipping your tea at night. You don't like, I don't have time to do that, my whatever reason. We'll make it a non-negotiable. And also, this is a little different, but getting the family involved and setting that boundary with them that, look, I deserve to take care of myself. I deserve these 20 minutes tonight to take care of myself. Can you please get on board? Like, it's so boundary setting in the family, because some kids, they're just like, most kids, they're very needy and they're like, pay attention to me. But it's teaching your kids that you, like, mom deserves to take care of her because she takes care of me all the time. So yeah, morning and night routines. Again, that's going to look different for everybody. I can only share what I do for a routine, but I like to help others create one that works for them and their family.
Awesome. Okay.
And then,
what's
yeah.
next? Go. No, go ahead. I want to give you plenty of time to finish because I know people are going to have some questions.
Okay. The last one is, although diet is not it's not the only part of health. I think putting into your body, like, what are you putting into your body? And I do not require anybody I work with to go plant-based if they don't want to, if they're not at that point yet. But just be mindful of what you are feeding yourself. If you are eating meat, make sure it's high quality, because I truly believe that different foods have different vibrations. And, you know, the meat and the dairy, those are a little bit lower vibration. If you are going to consume them, I, again, recommend high quality. And then the plants have a lot higher vibration, especially raw plants. And I don't think you can ever go wrong with adding more plants into your diet. When I was a meat eater, I was more of a meat on the side. The bulk of it was the plants and then a little bit of meat on the side. And that kind of transitioned me into plant, you know, going fully plant-based. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. So I don't require that of anybody. But just be mindful of the foods you are eating. If it's the convenience mac and cheese because you're just so busy, like, you're not going to feel good after that. And again, don't eat just to eat. Eat mindfully, eat intentionally, and then get the kids involved in that. But again, fueling my body with more high vibrational foods, it helps to relieve the brain fog. It helped me to feel worthy of eating good foods. It helped me to feel this sense of connection with the earth and the sense of connection with my kids. So just fueling your body properly, and then not just the food, but I'm very big into herbs. And so I have my favorite herbs that help my body to deal with stress, you know, adaptogens, and that are very high in minerals. So in case I am depleted, it helps to boost up my magnesium, my B vitamins, my vitamin A, E, like all those things. So herbs. And I also do, I hope you don't mind, I have a PDF that I created. And if anybody wants that, just reach out to me in some way, either Instagram, Facebook, and I can make sure to get that to you. It's my top 5 favorite herbs for overcoming burnout and anxiety and motherhood. And I implement those into my life pretty much daily. And I'd love to share them with other people. So yeah,
the herbs, you could put in the event page, on the event page.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, what are you fueling your body with? And that doesn't always have to be food. It can be mindset too. Like, what are you listening to? What are you watching? What are you reading? What are you telling yourself? But the food is definitely important because it changes your body. You become what you eat. And I mean, and that's science. That's science. Like, it's not just something I made up. Like, you become what you eat. So being intentional with fueling your body, and again, the intentionality in everything. Going plant-based helped me to be more intentional with everything and become a better mother. So.
All right, perfect. Now, I know you've got to wrap it up. Do you have anything else you want to share before we open it for questions?
No, I think that's it. I'd love to get some questions.
Yeah, so let's open it up for questions either on Facebook or on Zoom. Either way, we've had a lot of really great comments here. Marley agrees with setting boundaries. McKenna said, definitely about routines, but eating healthy can completely change your mood each day. And she really wants to know more about herbs. So I'm 100% on board with fueling your body. And in my opinion, I feel like, and please speak up if anybody has any questions. We're just going to chat until we have some questions come to us. I feel like the base of everything is
the food
great.
is definitely important because it changes your, sorry.
It's okay. The base of everything is,
find them.
is the nutrition. So if you get that foundation of the nutrition, and it doesn't have to be perfect, you just have to be moving forward. And in fact, perfection is your enemy. You just constantly want to be moving forward because perfection bogs you down and keeps you from continuing to grow. So as long as you're making positive movements all the time and giving yourself grace as you're making changes, you will continue to move forward. So creating that high vibration base, fruits and vegetables are honestly like really where it all is at. And I'm not saying I was a plant-based eater for many, many years. I'm not now for several different reasons that were right for me. But I was a plant-based eater for like almost 30 years. And I do agree though, that anytime I go more into a heavier cooked food environment where there's I say cooked food because I even believe that the raw fruits and vegetables are even a higher vibration. So the more raw foods that I eat, the more raw fruits and vegetables I eat, the better I feel. The more fruits and vegetables I eat, the better I feel, and the better I function. So any questions for anybody? I'm sure you guys have questions. This is just a great conversation.
Oh, there's Kenna. Hi.
Yeah.
No.
I was about to ask you a question, but then my child started screaming. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you if anybody so raw foods obviously have higher vibration. But I also like to eat seasonally. Like in the summer, I'm craving more fruits and veggies, more raw foods, and they work well with my body. But then in the fall or in winter, if I force myself to keep eating that way, it throws everything off. So in the fall and winter, I eat more stews, more soups, more potatoes, more warm foods. And I find that my digestion and it helps. So I like eating seasonally, definitely more raw veggies. But in the fall and winter, I definitely don't need to stick to that. I like the potato.
You're right. I 100% agree with that. And when you're completely plant-based, there's something amazing about those root vegetables during the winter and fall season that are just so comforting. Okay, so Kenna says, do you believe different diets work better for different people?
I do. I personally, I obviously am a plant pusher, but like I said before, I think that I think there's probably only one diet, which is a carnivore diet, that wouldn't be against eating more fruits and veggies. Like it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Like I said, I was meat on the side for a while. So different things work for different people, especially mentally. Like some people are like, this is me for so long. I am drawn to going plant-based, but I don't know how. I'm going to try it. It didn't work. So it's just not for me. And like, I tried for about 10 years and finally, hang on, baby. So yeah, I don't think one diet works for everybody. Some people have intolerances, some have allergies, some have food preferences. So it just depends on your body, your mindset, and
I agree. Okay, so we're going to do our drawing. I want to make sure that we have everybody's name on. So if you have not said hello to us yet, please do that really quickly so we can include you. And I'm going to go ahead. Yeah.
I didn't know if you were doing the drawing or if I was, but I have it.
No, I am.
Oh, okay.
I just want you to help me make sure I have everybody's name.
Yeah, no problem.
And feel free still, guys, if you guys have any questions, we are still able to take them now. Okay.
Hey, I'm so excited. People are excited for the PDF.
That's it. I'm even excited about that. Okay, so we have Kenna, Miranda, Sina, Rowan, Nikki, Shambra, Kayla, Amber, Marley, Alyssa, and Johan. Am I missing anybody? Anybody else say hello?
Take Johan off, please. Please.
I'm sorry, Johan. Your wife told me I had to take you off.
Oh, he's so thin.
No. He is. So wait, go ahead and tell me. I have Marley, Sina, Shambra, Nikki, Rowan, Shankila, Alyssa, Kayla, Miranda. Is that who you have?
You should have 10 people.
Did you take me and Johan off?
No, I'm not taking you off. I'll take Johan off. I'm not taking you off. Sorry.
Do the drawing.
Don't forget me.
Who am I forgetting?
Q.
Oh, wait. Did I not put you
How
on
about you
there?
just let me spin? I have it ready to go. I have it. Trust me.
Yeah, I guess you just better make it your energy that you're not going to win today. So.
Well, if you win, I still want to chat with you, Kenna.
I just want to make sure everybody else has a
Look
chance.
at that, Shankila.
No way.
Yeah. She said, make sure you put me on. And I did. And she's the one who won. Okay.
Oh man, I'm super excited.
You are going to love her. I got to have a pre-conversation with her and she's amazing. You're going to have a great time. So what she's giving away is, you want to tell them?
Yes. So I offer breakthrough sessions, which is 45 minutes where you can bring your questions to me. Honey, hang on. You bring your questions to me, whether it be diet related, mindset related, motherhood, burnout related. And we you tell me what you need and I give you actionable steps to use moving forward.
And guys, just because you didn't win doesn't mean you can't book a session with Ashley, okay? Do you by chance, have you thought about it? If you don't have an answer right this second, you could post it in the group. For a breakthrough session or something like that, could you put like a little discount or something together and post it so that if people wanted to book something with you, they could do that as well?
Yeah, definitely. And I'll leave the scheduling link as well.
Okay, perfect. So guys, don't hesitate to book something just because you didn't win. She's totally worth it. Totally amazing. And she's got kids she's got to get to and she's got a life she's got to get back to. So she's got to run. Yeah. But thank you so much, Ashley. We've enjoyed you very much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. And yeah, reach out if anybody has any questions. Feel free to find me on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, and definitely you can go back into the group. So let me wrap this up. You can go, Ashley. I'm going to wrap this up with just reminding you guys that we do these every week. Usually they're at 1 p.m. Central Time. And we also do have a YouTube channel. So you can always find us there. And if you want the link, or actually I'll put the link out there so you guys can have the link to the YouTube channel. That way you can go back and watch any of our past ones and you'll never miss one. If you go to the YouTube channel and you actually click the notifications or subscribe and then click the little bell button. You'll never miss one of these conversations. So it was really great having Ashley here. And thank you, Kenna, for making sure that we got connected with her. We could make that happen. Does anybody have any other questions or comments before we go? Was that fun? Did y'all enjoy her? Yeah, she's got a lot of energy. She's got a lot of life that she brings to the conversation. It's really good. So if you do want to book a session with her, I totally think you should, because she's awesome. And then Shankila, you'll have to tell us what you think about it when you do your session with her.
Yes, I will.
I do want to say, I'm gonna go ahead, because I wanted to say this when Ashley was here. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. One of the struggles that we have is getting good nutrition in our bodies. And one of my favorite hacks as a nutrition coach, I used to teach people to juice and eat high amounts of raw foods. And I still totally advocate getting a lot of raw foods in our bodies. But as busy moms, getting a lot of raw foods and a lot of fruits and vegetables in our bodies and our picky kids can be really difficult. So I highly advocate utilizing some plant and fruit and veggie plant powders called Juice Plus. They come in a capsule or a chewable form. And if you want to know more about that, we've got some samples that we can send you guys out to. They are absolutely amazing, and they make a tremendous impact because you're getting that high vibration food in your body today, whether or not you eat those fruits and vegetables or get enough in today. So I just want to put that out there because I feel like I'm doing you guys a disservice if you don't know that that's an opportunity for you as well. All right, gang. Thanks all of you who joined us on Facebook and Zoom. We will see you next week. Oh, and next week, oh guys, we have a well, she calls herself a mommeopath. She's not actually a trained homeopath, but she is going to talk all about homeopathy. She's actually designed a homeschool curriculum based on the one-room schoolhouse concept where you can homeschool multiple kids at a time and learn about homeopathy at home. So we'll see you guys all next week at 1 p.m. Central Time. Thanks for joining us. Take care and goodbye.